Guys, success is guaranteed. Hear me out. So there's some shocking information about consumers, what they're deciding when it comes to purchasing a car, the decision-making process that tells you that success is guaranteed. Hear me out. So apparently, out of 10 customers that are considering the Li Auto L7, 6 to 7 of them would compare it against the NIO ES6. And after comparison, the reason for choosing a NIO is very simple. It has the unique battery swapping mechanism, which is one of the big reasons why someone will pull the trigger and buy a NIO. And then NIO's branding is actually seen as much more premium, a tier above that of Li Auto. But, however, we got to remember that this is given the condition that they have the license plate permission of a gasoline license plate permission. So they can choose either EV or gasoline car, aka Li Auto. But if they have only a EV license plate, that means they are restricted to only choosing EV. Well, they got no other choice but NIO or some of the other guys, which most of the time, if they want a premium luxury car, the default choice is NIO. Now, for those that have the option to choose either gasoline or pure electric, so they got that flexible license plate permission here in China, then for those people, the reason for choosing NIO is of course battery swap. But why do people not choose a NIO? Have you guys ever thought about that? And it's not because of gasoline, guys, because battery swap is almost like gasoline. It's as convenient as gasoline, even more convenient, I would argue. But the main reason for not choosing a NIO and choosing a Li Auto L7, according to this information, is because of camping mode. Okay, the comfortness, the campingness of the car. Well, with Li Auto's cars, apparently you can fold down the front seats and it becomes flush with the second row to make a huge bed. On NIOs, you can't do that. But a car that NIO is launching that can do that is, of course, the Envo L60. This car will have like bed support, like this. You can have the seats flush with the second row, forming a massive bed, which is currently unavailable on NIOs. And also, apparently, according to people with customer stats, that's the reason why people are choosing Li Auto, because of the comfiness, the more bed-like, room-like, house-like the car is. So the Envo 60 is going to maintain NIO's main selling reason with battery swap, of course, the main reason for choosing a NIO. But then on top of that, it's mitigating for the main reason to not choose a NIO. Apparently, the lack of campingness, camping features. So this is quite interesting. And then speaking on the topic of license plate permissions, here in Beijing, there's about like a 9% chance for you to get a EV license plate for Beijing residents, and then around a 1% chance to get a gasoline license plate if you're a Beijing resident. All right, so you can see that the odds of getting an EV plate is much, much higher than that of getting a gasoline plate. So hence the reason why you're seeing a lot of EVs here in China. So these are new plates, by the way, all right, not existing plates. And then in Shanghai, you can get free license plates for EVs as long as you got social security, social insurance paid for 3 years. So that also skews everything in favor of pure electric vehicles. And quite recently, Beijing also released a new batch of EV-only plates for consumers. And they did not do the same for gasoline plates. So these people that don't have cars, that are Beijing residents, then they are able to get a EV, all right? And that just creates more new customer volume into NIO stores here in Beijing. Whereas stores would usually depend on existing car owners that already have cars to go and buy a Li Auto or buy a NIO. So license plate policy is definitely favoring pure electric vehicles here in China, especially in the big two cities, Beijing, Shanghai. They're basically heavily skewed towards EVs, pure electric vehicles, not hybrids. And as this policy gets spread down into other big tier 1 cities, for example, like Guangzhou, Shenzhen, these big mega cities, then you're going to see very good growth in sales in EVs in general, but not for hybrids. Combine that with the fact that quite recently we had that China Grand Auto collapse. A lot of people don't trust dealerships. They're more inclined to buy cars direct from the company. So those straight direct to consumer business models, they are more in favor of those. And also, people are more in tune with buying domestic cars, domestically made cars instead of imported cars. That actually includes Tesla, interestingly, because Tesla Model Y, Model 3 are all also domestically made. Imported cars, you have to pay a hefty import tax that goes up to 50+%. So that's crazy expensive. So people are more inclined to buy domestic cars here in China. So that's why you're seeing NIO being favored a lot. And then plus the license plate policy forbidding people from buying cars with gasoline. You just basically you can't buy a car with gasoline if you don't have a gasoline license plate permission. If you have an EV license plate permission, your only choice is an EV. So with that heavily skewed also towards NIO's favor, and the fact that NIO has like a huge dominance on the luxury EV segment here in China, it's basically the default choice that people go for. But of course, with Envo car, the product is becoming even more well polished than before. The weaknesses have been mitigated, adding even newer features, newer advancements in tech, such as 900-volt architecture, better energy efficiency, all that great stuff for a very cheap price, affordable price. That is going to really convince consumers to buy this car. And remember, guys, if they got an EV plate, they're pretty much forced to buy either this or Tesla or BYD or one of these guys with their pure electric vehicles. And it all comes down to which one has the better product, which one has the better branding power. And in terms of product, it seems right now Envo L60 is going to take the W at launch. All right, at launch. All right. It's not really going to have that many competitors that will be able to have better features than Envo L60 at launch. Maybe next year there might be other competitors that have better features, but for now, yes, it has camping mode, all the camping stuff that consumers want, and then also battery swap, which is also what consumers want. So there's going to be great success coming very soon with Envo. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.